Hello collective, it is Kai. I am back in Vegas, and I mean overall I was just very present over my holiday in Northern California, and apologize for my voice. A mix of things, but I wanted to talk about the process that I have gotten to presently in terms of learning about love. And I have like limited experience with like romantic relationships and even platonic relationships, and so I've been learning so much about how I am and how I process, how I commune with people, how I am experiencing new ways to communicate with people as well. And so I kind of wanted to elaborate on this because I met someone who decided to divulge, I guess, kind of a secret to me, and it made me realize like how differently I am feeling about this whole situation. So if you happen to know from my past videos, I had spoken about someone that I have finally felt physical attraction towards, right? And with that information, I had to, but more of like I did learn a lot about how it is so important and significant and integral for me to be physically attracted to someone. This doesn't happen often for me, if I'm being completely real. Like, as much as I may make efforts to form this kind of like feeling with another person, it just doesn't happen. And I realize this when I have this pattern of going on Bumble and Tinder now for no reason particularly, but I don't participate anymore, but I did end up meeting someone that really I was able to talk to them intellectually, emotionally, even though they themselves weren't necessarily like at the same frequency as me entirely. It was still like good conversation, things like that, and like they were an attractive enough individual where I was like, oh, like you're like physically beautiful, but like I don't find you attractive. And I'm also recognizing that I just know myself enough that I don't run away from the fact that I'm not going to force a situation. I'm not going to project also onto this being like what I desire. And it's kind of an interesting balance that I'm reaching, where it's like I don't need to be in a relationship with someone that looks a certain way, but I do need to be physically attracted to them in order to be in that kind of relationship with them. I practice abstinence. I'm not a celibate because I'm not a virgin. So if I had a choice, with my awareness now, I would definitely be celibate. But besides the point, I don't regret losing my virginity. It's just making me realize how important and special my body is to me. And so going along what I've spoken about, I genuinely feel that there is like a release. I've really understood certain parts of myself in terms of like my control issues in the past, my codependency, my attachment wounds, my trauma triggers, and this is definitely triggering for me, like to be around someone physically, and I'm not open to it as much as I wasn't before. I'm a lot more receptive and in flow with like the people that are safe environments for me. So that's a little different, but it's something that I've learned because now I have friends that I call friends. And so it's really rad, but I wanted to talk about this because I noticed this process within another person's reflection. And I think one of the biggest things is to build strength and to really get to know myself more is to not run away from the parts of myself that I like and I don't like. And I don't like that part of myself, the one that is pretty much falling for someone, you know? And I'm definitely healing a lot. I'm still healing. It's just made me realize, though, that I don't control anyone but myself. I don't control anything but myself. I don't want to partake or even entertain that kind of thought process because that's not how it fucking works, period. No one owes me an explanation. No one owes me communication. But I do need it. I do need reciprocity. And I deserve reciprocity. I deserve someone who approaches me within their divine masculine energy, who wishes to pursue me, and also patience, you know, compassion. Like, loving kindness is another thing, but it's also extending that past my own understanding of my own pain. So compassion comes from pretty much empathy, being able to walk within another person's shoes, but not necessarily to the point where you're experiencing their pain, and embodying that pain and milling over that pain. I think it's more so along the lines of understanding there's different forms of pain, there's different forms of reciprocation, there's different forms of communication, of connection, and it's really important for me to stay aware of that because I tend to kind of doubt myself when there isn't a form of communion that aligns with my forms, right? My love languages, things like that. And it doesn't have to be, but at the same time I have to be discerning with that because building like proper respect for me, at least in a connection, is to relay my boundaries because that is going to teach others how to treat me. So I wanted to kind of make it clear because, sorry, just zoned out. My eyes are just focusing on the reflection. It's so cool, but I recommend feeling the emotions deeply, maybe even foolishly, maybe even recklessly. That's how it happened for me, and it's not a redundant experience. It's something that can only be experienced now in this moment because you are feeling. I recommend channeling that energy, continuing to be within your light and love, allowing yourself to experience that for yourself. For yourself, man. It's not about the person that is inspiring this energy and motion. It is you who creates it. Yes, they inspire it. They may even trigger you. It could totally be ego, but at the same time, it is acknowledging that experience and witnessing it that allows me to kind of give that clarity to myself where I loved this person from a distance for a very extended period of time, and that was my regret, was not relaying that to them. And so I don't have any regrets anymore because I did do that. And yes, it felt fucking embarrassing. I was very embarrassed. I still can't really make eye contact with them, and I know that's because I feel embarrassed. There is a absence of shame in that when I'm saying that because I accept myself for how I am. I know that I'm a soft lover, but I'm also a very exclusive lover. I require physical intimacy to a certain level, It doesn't have to be to my level every single time. No, it's between me and the person. I do require like space for myself, for reflection, for recalibration. I also require acknowledgement, accountability, because we all have our shit. We all have our fucking shit that we're dealing with. And sometimes it's less in density and intensity, but at the same time it will be there because the shadow is the parts of ourselves that we don't acknowledge, don't even know exist, and don't like. And so I am understanding that I really didn't like that part of myself. I didn't like expressing, I didn't like exuding that form of love because I felt very insecure and unstable and not safe that I could trust someone. So I've been healing that. I've been really understanding that part of myself because I do respect this person a lot. I still do. But because of the situation at hand, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything. I don't really feel the same because feelings are impermanent as well. I'm feeling very differently about this whole experience. So there was something that I was mentioning before. Someone came up to me. We both were tipsy, and so I already kind of rule out the whole awareness of self and discernment of being able to consent to a few things. But with that in mind, as I'm talking about this, it's not to project or blame or judge this person, but just from the information that was relayed to me, from their words, right, and their actions, but more so their words because I want to take their word for it, right? But then their actions did show, very interestingly, this very much underlying intuitive feeling that I've had for a very long time was literally confirmed in this moment. I'm in the bathroom washing my hands, and there's another individual there. They're washing their hands. They seemed pretty tipsy, at least, maybe a little bit more than me, but they wanted to talk to me, in other words. Brought up the fact that I used to like this person. I said I didn't feel the same way, or I don't, in other words. And then they looked at me in this very ambiguous manner, where they're like staring me down, and I was like, wow. I literally said to them, I was like, that is such a doubtful look that you're giving me right now, but it's true. I don't like them anymore like I did, and that is true. But I do feel like I have a tendency to kind of conceal that, the fact that I used to like them in that way, and that I do like respect them in a different way. So maybe it is still sending them love, but it's not the same forms of pursuing it, is kind of what I wish I could have clarified, but I was tipsy, so whatever. And then they divulged this information to me of them feeling the same way, but at the same time their actions being very interesting. Like, there were a few phrases that I can actually remember verbatim. Is they wanted things to be the same, and that is so delusional. It's a daydream. It's an imagination. It's imaginative envision of what you desire. And I'm not speaking to them about this, obviously, because we're not friends. It's so out of pocket, bro. Like, I literally was like asking her, like, what can I do to support you? And she couldn't answer me in the moment. So I was like, honestly, I'm not here to like validate your experience or give you empty words of encouragement, because to be honest, I can see this happening very clearly in my own imagination. And for me, at least, the way that I view this person, that is pretty much the, what would you call it? the receiver, no, the person who's pretty much the person that's being felt about, okay? Fuck. I want to make it so there's enough boundaries that I'm not like divulging information about someone else. This is just about my own experience with this information, okay? Like, I apologize if you want me to not talk about it. You shouldn't have told me. I'm sorry. Because you also didn't tell me to not say anything about it. And I was like... Anyways, the reason why I was responding to them in a way like this is because I was like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? And when they said that they wanted things to pretty much go back to the way they were, I was like, that's literally impossible. I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing that ever is the same. And the fact that you desire this, you have to acknowledge that. And like, my mind was just milling over this because in that moment, because I was like, what do you want me to do? Because if you're talking to me about it because I used to like this person and like say like bullshit, like, no, I learned my fucking lesson, okay? And I had to learn it in a very challenging fucking way. I don't wish that upon anyone. And so I was like, in my head, I was like, damn, that fucking sucks, first of all, and I know it, that sucky feeling very well. And so I was just like, that is my thing though. I actually had a conversation with a friend that I expressed to them. I was like, I have a fear of being friends with someone and them developing feelings for me, because that to me can never be changed. And because I can't control another person's feelings, I would just like to be communicated about it. Like, as soon as you fucking know, tell me, because I will respond, not react. I will make an effort to not react, and that is something that I'm willing to do and take accountability for, because it's happened and it continues to happen, and I get it. It's there. Like, I can't deny that whole experience and also invalidate their like feelings as well, but it's like I have to acknowledge my own experience and not invalidate my own feelings of it makes me feel unsafe to be myself. I don't want someone to fall for me in that way, because I also am learning that that infatuation is not healthy. It's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for you. And infatuation is this projection that I'm perfect, which I'm not. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. It's not the way that I also like witness myself. That is why I say these things. And it's so important, because love is knowing there are difficult parts, differences, there are challenges, there are maybe even things considered flaws, and it doesn't matter. That's love. And unconditional love comes from a place of not needing reciprocation, because you give that love to yourself. So when this person was telling me these things, I was like, nah, like, I'm sorry, you're on your own. Like, I can't support you in this manner. I can support your feelings, like you feeling your feelings, but I can't support you because, one, I'm not your friend. Like, we've never had a conversation before. And I'm just like acknowledging how like surface level that is. But I was like taken aback that they even like shared this with me. And I'm a Scorpio, so I do have the tendency to draw in people who wish to share very deep things with me, and I too share very deep things with others. That is why I'm saying this. But I pretty much was like understanding how the place that I'm in right now is I'm sending them love always. I wish them support, safety, the longevity of abundance in life and love, and peace and joy. And that is it. That is literally it. I don't need them to be with me in order to experience my own version of love, peace, and joy. I don't need them. I want them. I wanted them. Past fucking And it's like, shit, dude, like, it brought up a lot of realizations that this person, I don't know them. I don't know them. I don't know the person who spoke to me. I don't know the person that I used to like. I didn't know a lot of people at the party, and I still could be myself. And so it's me also being proud of the path and the progress that I've taken within this journey of healing myself, regulating myself, being within this physicality, owning my own power, also calling back and reclaiming, recalibrating my power, and being within my presence. And so it's been a while since I've had like a long video. I really wanted to kind of like express all these things that happened, because it's made me realize a lot of things about love and like reciprocative relationships, platonic and romantic, how I am, and like how I'm not like open to like honestly disrespecting others and myself. Like, I'm not into that. And so that is also another thing. It's me discerning when I need to take a step back. And when I am doing that, I also actively have to acknowledge how I feel, experience it, witness me, observe me, and also be proactive, to be inspired, to take action, to continue to rebuild and reconnect with that part of myself in a healthy manner. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me, for being alive. Like, holy shit, dude. Life be fucking pretty swell, I'm not gonna lie. I started climbing a lot more consistently, but I'm also understanding that that too comes with discernment, because I can't just keep climbing and then be like, oh, I'm just gonna get hella buff. No, I need to like stretch properly, to have rest days properly, to also like acknowledge that my body's still healing and acclimating to this metal ankle that I have. And it's been really good, because this trip I really enjoyed it. I really was present, and so I have no regrets and I have no remorse. I went to a party, I went to SF, went to Chinatown, went to Oakland Chinatown, went to Napa Valley, went to a psych trance club event, hung out with my friends, really my friends, but really just being within their presence and learning about them. I really am grateful. I'm grateful for all the people in my life currently and who are yet to come. I am very like present and very, very proud of myself, honestly. I went from so dysregulated that I couldn't even hug people to like hugging and like flirting. Oh my gosh. I just laugh. Like, now I'm just laughing because I'm just like, damn, that's me flirting. Okay, like, let's do it that way. Sure, they were kind of receptive to it, and like, that's also another thing. I'm also recognizing how confident I actually am, again, within my own physicality, my mental capacity, my emotional depth, and pretty much me as a person, my soul experience, my spirituality, my trust and faith in the universe. And I know it's just gonna keep getting better and better, and it has been. And so I'm really staying in tune with myself during this time, and I'm really proud of myself for bringing myself to this point, because it's actually kind of crazy. That's when you know this video is gonna be good, is when I say crazy. But anyways, thank you everyone for your support throughout this whole time, subscribing, commenting. I'm also recognizing I definitely need to practice more boundaries with the interaction with my space and my collective, because I want to be able to come here with the pure consciousness, whether there are aspects of my subconscious, unconscious coming through. it's still just a safe space for me to be myself. That is why I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to restrain or repress myself, but I'm also not going to be responsible for your guys' reactions to me. You can respond, and I will, in time, with due diligence, respond in kind. I'm not here to validate your experience, nor necessarily even, like, you know, like, you have all the control right there. That is all the energy and power and presence, and you need to tap into. And I'm only saying this because as this community grows and grows, I plan on being able to interact with you guys in person. That is my purpose, is to be able to see you guys clearly, because I'm seeing myself clearly in this form. And if my form of expression is able to connect with you on a personal level, whatever level really, then cheers to that. Because even on a professional level, I would love to be able to work with my own collective as well. And so I do fashion. I'm getting back into that. It's kind of nice getting back into fashion and like being within my physicality, which is great. Finally at this point where I can just be myself in that way. I am feeling pretty good about my space, and I'm feeling like I can express myself more, so I'm going to be elaborating a little bit more on my own like personal journey. Like, I've just finished the book Aspire by Kevin Hall, finally, but like it's such a good book. I highly recommend it. And I also have a new book that I got from Goodwill in Sebastopol. But yeah, I've been doing well, so thank you everyone for your support, and I appreciate you and your presence here, and I'm sending you so much love on your spiritual journey, okay?